What happened to Jesus? This is a question that has puzzled scholars and believers for centuries. The New Testament gives us a glimpse of his birth, a single story from his childhood. We see him as an infant in Bethlehem, then suddenly as a 12-year-old in the temple, astonishing the rabbis with his understanding. After that, there is nothing. The narrative goes completely silent. For nearly 2 decades, from age 12 until about 30 to be baptized by John, Jesus disappears from the historical record. This vast 18-year gap is often called his lost years or silent years. It is a profound mystery at the very heart of the Christian story, a blank page that invites endless speculation and curiosity. This silence is not just a minor detail, it represents a significant portion of a human life. Think about it. These were his formative years. This was the time he would have transitioned from a boy into a man, learned a trade, and developed the worldview that would eventually shake the foundations of the Roman Empire. The Standard Protestant Bible contains 66 books, the Catholic Bible contains 73 books, the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible contains 81 books, one of the oldest and most complete biblical collections. This expanded canon is a treasure trove for a different dimension of early Judeo-Christian thought. It includes texts widely read and respected by early Christians and Jews, but eventually excluded from Roman and Protestant Bibles. These are not forgeries or later inventions, they are ancient works preserved along a different path. The Ethiopian canon offers a glimpse of a much larger, more varied library. Among the most significant additional texts are the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees. The Book of Enoch is a sprawling, apocalyptic work. It was hugely influential in the centuries before and after Jesus' birth. It is directly quoted in the New Testament's Epistle of Jude. Only the Ethiopians preserved it in full. The broader Ethiopian Orthodox tradition is rich with stories about his childhood. One of the most prominent traditions concerns the Holy Family's flight into Egypt. The Gospel of Matthew mentions this journey in a mere 2 verses. Ethiopian sources transform it into an epic multi-year sojourn. They describe the family traveling deep into the land, not just to the border, but to the very heart of Ethiopia itself, staying for several years. According to these traditions, the child Jesus performed numerous miracles during this extended stay. The stories are vivid and specific. In one account, as the family passed a town full of idols, the statues crumbled to dust. In another, Jesus created a spring of fresh water in the desert to quench his mother's thirst. These tales depict a young Jesus who is already aware of his divine power and is actively using it to protect and provide for his family in their exile. This contrasts sharply with the Western image of a quiet, hidden childhood, presenting instead a period of active, albeit private, divine intervention and revelation during his formative years. These stories also serve to create a deep, foundational connection between Jesus and the land of Ethiopia. For Ethiopian Christians, Jesus is not a distant figure from a foreign land, he is someone who walked on their soil. The contrast between the Western and Ethiopian accounts of Jesus' early life raises a critical question. Why do these differences exist? The answer lies in the messy, human process of canon formation. In the first few centuries of Christianity, there wasn't one Bible. Instead, there were dozens of Gospels, letters, apocalypses circulating among different communities. The Ethiopian church developed largely outside Roman influence, so it made different choices. As a result, it preserved texts the Greco-Roman world discarded. For believers today, these rediscovered stories can be profound, and reveal a faith more diverse and culturally rich. The silence is not empty, it is filled with whispers of stories waiting to be heard.